The empire died the moment the emperor stepped forward, outside the city of Edessa, under a burning sky and the smell of sickness and dust. Emperor Valerian made a choice that could never be taken back, surrounded by enemies and trapped by his own mistakes. He walked toward the Persian king Shapur I to negotiate peace in person. He believed the meeting would save his army. Instead, it erased his empire's authority in a single afternoon. Rome was already weak when Valerian ruled it. Plague had swept through its cities, killing soldiers faster than wars could. The borders were under constant attack. Generals fought each other for power. Trust in leadership was fading, but Valerian believed Rome still inspired fear. He believed his presence alone could control events. He was wrong. Valerian's army was cornered near Edessa. Thousands of soldiers were sick. Food was scarce. Water was worse. Desert heat pressed down on men who could barely stand. The Persians knew this. Shapur had waited patiently, cutting off escape routes and watching the Roman army rot from the inside. Valerian still had choices. He could retreat. He could delay. He could send messengers. But Valerian believed none of that was necessary. Roman emperors did not beg. Roman emperors commanded respect. And so, driven by pride and tradition, he chose to meet the enemy himself. To Valerian, this was strength. To Shapur, it was an opening. As the emperor approached under a banner of truce, his officers watched with growing dread. Something felt wrong. No Roman emperor had ever done this. But no one dared stop him. Rome had taught its people to obey symbols, not question them. The talks were short. Shapur did not treat Valerian as an equal. He did not fear Roman custom. At a signal, Persian guards seized the emperor. There was no warning, no time to react. The ruler of Rome was dragged away like a common prisoner. In that instant, everything collapsed. When the news reached the Roman camp, disbelief froze the soldiers in place. Their emperor was gone, not dead, captured, alive, but powerless. No one knew what to do next. Orders stopped. Command broke apart. Officers argued. Soldiers panicked. The Roman army depended on hierarchy. Without Valerian, there was no center. Discipline vanished within hours. Some units surrendered, others fled into the desert. Persian forces attacked immediately, cutting down scattered groups that could no longer fight as one. By nightfall, the Roman army was finished, but the damage spread far beyond Edessa. Word traveled fast across the empire. For the first time in Roman history, an emperor had been taken alive by a foreign enemy. This was more than a military defeat. It was humiliation on a scale Rome had never known. Fear followed. Governors began to doubt Rome's strength. Generals questioned their loyalty. Usurpers saw opportunity. Enemies along every border sensed weakness and moved in. The illusion of Roman invincibility shattered in a single day. Valerian himself would never return. He lived out his remaining years as a prisoner in Persia. Stories spread that Shapur used him as a human step to mount his horse. Whether true or not, the image burned into Roman memory. An emperor reduced to nothing. The empire did not collapse instantly, but its unity did. The reason the fall was so fast was simple. Valerian had built his rule around himself. Authority, command, and confidence all rested on one man. When he disappeared, there was nothing strong enough to replace him. No clear succession, no trusted system, just fear and ambition. Psychologically, the damage was even worse. Rome believed itself eternal. That belief had carried it through disasters before, but seeing their emperor captured destroyed that belief overnight. Once people stopped believing in Rome's destiny, loyalty vanished. Overconfidence led Valerian to walk into danger. Denial kept him from seeing how desperate his position truly was. Panic spread the moment he was taken. Collapse followed as every weakness revealed itself at once. Historians would later call this period the crisis of the 3rd century, a time when emperors rose and fell quickly, when civil war became constant, and when the empire barely survived. Valerian's decision did not cause every problem, but it exposed them all in a single stroke. One choice, one moment, one ruler who believed tradition could protect him. Empires rarely fall from one battle alone. They fall when leaders mistake symbols for strength and pride for control. Valerian believed Rome's past guaranteed its future. He believed the rules of power could not change, they did. His decision lasted minutes, its consequences lasted generations, and it stands as a dark warning when an empire depends too much on one man. His fall can destroy everything faster than anyone expects.